Hey guys, Kelly here. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad to see you here. So today I've got new ears, yay, butterfly ears that I got while I was in the States. If you would like to see me wear some ears that you sent, I will put that information in the description below as to where you can share fun ears with me, because I've got a nice little collection going. So I wanted to talk to you guys about something that most women are doing the direct opposite of, and that is most women are trying to lose weight. I'm over here trying to gain weight. So I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my weight gain journey. I've been calling it the Build a Booty Workshop. Hey, we're gonna build this booty, y'all. So here comes the crazy coughing. So years ago when I got diagnosed with lupus, or even obviously before I got diagnosed with lupus, I started dropping a tremendous amount of weight. And the interesting thing is that when you see yourself in the mirror every day, you don't always necessarily know that you're losing weight. And I know that sounds crazy, but here's part of the reason that I think I didn't realize I was losing weight. I rarely wear pants. So I was always in a dress. So dresses hit you on the shoulder, and then, you know, you're draped in the dress per se. So unless it becomes a moo-moo, then you don't really necessarily realize that you are losing weight. And it was funny because at the time I was working for a builder. For many of you that are new to me, you may not know I spent almost 20 years in real estate, and some of that was in new construction working with builders. And my VP of sales said to me one day, "Girl, you are looking really good. What are you doing? You're losing this weight." And I was like, what is she talking about? Like, I don't know what she's talking about. And it was funny because I had this jumpsuit kind of dress, and you know, I got some girls happening right here, and I would have to wear it where it was snapped just below my boobs because, you know, the dress was too small is basically what it boils down to, but it still looked cute if I put a shell underneath and, you know, a button underneath. You know, I was a fashion girl. I knew how to make it work. So anyway, I was able to get that buttoned all the way up, and I was like, okay, what is happening? But, you know, women wanting to lose weight, especially if they're not trying and they're losing weight, it really wasn't that alarming for me at that moment. It wasn't that shocking because I was always a healthy person. Again, if you've been here before, you've heard me say I am a two-time former national level fitness competitor. So I've always exercised. I've always eaten properly. And, you know, and so I had gotten to where I had moved to a new city and was getting acclimated, and I had picked up a few extra pounds. So losing a few wasn't going to hurt my feelings, but I wasn't trying to lose any weight. Well, overall, over the long haul, well, I guess it really wasn't that long. Over the course of about 3 or 4 months, I lost about 70 pounds. And of course, then you realize, hey, something is dramatically and drastically wrong. And I had other symptoms that showed up over the course of that time, but the weight loss was so dramatic that at one point during a hospital stay, they actually tried to insinuate that I had an eating disorder. I got an eating disorder, all right. I like to eat. That's a disorder, because I was like, put that in my mouth and put that in my mouth and put that in my mouth too. You know, so that was the only thing that was out of order per se, which is why I wasn't that upset about losing a few pounds, because I was eating it up. Anyway, flash forward to the beginning of this year, or actually I guess the beginning of last year. You know, again, I've been very open about the things that go on, the nonsense that happens in my body. And last year, at the beginning of the year, I have a lung disease thanks to lupus, and I started hacking up my left lung. You know, I started coughing all over the place. I was diagnosed with a lung infection, and they were giving me antibiotics, and then I was having an adverse effect with the antibiotics. They were giving me inhalers, and those were making it worse, and on and on and on. And after going to, you know, a few different specialists, what I realized was that they couldn't figure it out. They couldn't fix it. And with lupus, you really start to, it's a series of, I'm processing this, I'm dealing with, okay, this is my new normal, and then I'm accepting this. So I accepted, if you will, that having this smoker's cough, even though I've never smoked a day in my life, was going to be my situation. And then what started happening was I started expelling my meals frequently, to the point where I would be sad when I would get hungry. I would not eat to the point of almost passing out, because who really, again, I'm not signing up for an eating disorder. So if I know that something is going to make me toss my cookies, I'm really not going to be down for that. So in my effort, if you will, to just deal with my situation, I just stopped eating unless I really was forced to eat. And because most of the time people invite you out to brunch, to dinner, to lunch, I stopped going out as well. So again, I keep talking in various videos about the social distancing. Been there, done that, and was doing it before the pandemic. So at the beginning of the year, I went for what I felt like was going to be a routine doctor visit, and found out I was 99 pounds. I knew I'd lost a tremendous amount of weight, just because, this is gonna sound really weird. You know, before I didn't notice because my clothes were fitting differently, and I didn't notice that. This time my skin was fitting differently, and I just felt that I had no control, and there was really nothing that I could do. So I go in for my routine doctor's visit, and they diagnosed me as being very, severely malnourished. And I was down to 99 pounds, literally. And that was scary, along with all the other things that were going on. So when they shared with me, obviously, that, you know, I had all these different things that they were able to fix. So now I got another new eating disorder where I get to eat again and put this in my mouth and put that in my mouth. And I'm excited about it. I know that sounds terrible, guys. I am not, you know, I'm not, Let me get my disclaimer out here. If you have an eating disorder, I'm not making fun of you. This ain't about you. This is me being facetious. So if you offended, go someplace else, please, because this ain't meant to trigger you, and I don't have any bad intentions, and so I'm not going to apologize. Let's put it that way. Anyway, now that we got that piece out of the way, so I'm happy to be eating again, but in doing so, I'm a person that I like to research and figure out the proper way to do things. So I started looking for how to gain weight. And for women especially, there ain't a lot out there, because most of the time we're trying to, you know, lose weight. And here I am, I'm over here on the Build a Booty workshop trying to, you know, get some meat on my bones, because you could see the bones in my chest. And I mean, I'm 99 pounds. Come on, guys. I'm, you know, 5'7" and some change, and 99 pounds. That's just not even cool. I don't care how many ways you slice that, unless you modeling, which even still at my height, if it's not natural for you, that ain't cool. So I wanted to share a few things that I've started doing that are helping me to give a little round face back outside of the damn steroids. We ain't gonna talk about them though. But anyway, so I have gained some weight, and because of the lovely pandemic, I know that at least the last time I was at the doctor, I was up to about 107 pounds or somewhere near 106, 107. I'm confident that I've gained more weight since that time, but I'm one of the few women that I don't own a scale. I've never owned a scale. I think they're torture devices. I always gauged the way that my clothes fit. And my clothes are definitely fitting better. My bras have become uncomfortable again. So anyway, that was probably TMI, wasn't it? That was TMI. I'm sorry. Anyway, so I have incorporated, if you will, a protein shake into my regimen, which is something that I typically would not do. I try to eat real food, if you will. I don't like pulverized powders and pills and all this extra stuff. And so I got a protein shake, and the nutritionist that they assigned to me was really helpful in finding something that I was willing to take. They were offering up Ensure. Anyway, so she helped me figure out, things that I was willing to eat or drink that didn't have a ton of sugar, that were plant-based, because I am a plant-based lupus warrior. And, so that was really helpful for me. So I'll link below the protein powder that I now, add to some of my smoothies. I was gonna call them milkshake. Oh, my milkshake ain't no boys coming to the shower. Never mind, y'all. Ain't no boys coming to the shower. So the protein powder has been helpful. I am huge on peanut butter. I will sit in the middle of my bed at 2 o'clock in the morning eating peanut butter. And the good thing about these proteins is that they're good fats. So they add weight, but they also feed the muscle. And I've added, which I already had, a lot of lentils and beans and that kind of thing, which is probably another reason why the boys ain't coming to the yard, because some days the yard be stanky over here because I had too many beans. That was probably TMI too. Sorry. But we grown folk here. This happens. These are natural body functions. So anyway, so finding those good proteins, vegetables that are also rich in proteins, I toss into my smoothies, or I'll toss into my Instant Pot, and those are helping me to not only gain weight but also get some energy. My exercise regimen, I was looking for a little red band, consists of me doing some bicep curls. I do some tricep things, yay, triceps, and I do some little pull down type things, and I've got this elastic band that I use. And then I do leg lifts, where I stand up and my legs go out to the side like this, then I lift my leg to the back like so. And then I can tell you all, it takes 24 seconds for me to do 10 squats. So while I'm washing my hands, I'm getting my squat game on. 2 for 1, y'all. Hey, good, thoroughly cleaned hands and building some booty. Hey. And then before I get up in the morning, I try to do a few stretches, and then I do butt lifts, where you lay on your back, you bend your knees, and you pick your behind up and drop and pick your behind up. And I'm only doing, maybe 10 of each of these exercises, but they're helping me to gain strength. And I don't always have the energy to do them all. Some days I barely have the energy to do any of them, but I try to do at least one a day if I don't really have good energy. So, lupus can be really ugly. Even sometimes showering can make you have to lay back down and take a nap or go back to bed all day. But, I try to squeeze in something, and I try to keep up with it. If I was only able to get 10 leg lifts in on the left side, I try to make a note of that, so that when I can get that other side balanced, then that's what I do. So I know that there's not a lot out there for folks trying to gain weight, and especially, I'm sure, not in a very healthy way. So I thought I would share my experience, because I wasn't able to find a whole lot of help when I was looking. And hopefully, for those of you that are skinny minis that's trying to grab on a little bit of extra weight, just know, in my mind, the other thing, in my coffee. And you can get one of these coffee mugs in my Etsy shop, which is also going to be linked below. This wasn't supposed to be a shameless plug, but it's about to be now. Anyway, in my coffee in the morning, I put coconut oil, and it actually adds a nice little piece of sweetness. But my coconut oil is infused with Mary Jane. So that helps me gain weight too, because the munchies are real, y'all. The munchies are real. So I try to make sure that I have healthy snacks around here. Again, the protein shakes, so I can toss in all the sweets if you want, the strawberries and bananas and that kind of thing, and the protein, and again, making my milkshake that don't bring no boys to the yard, but it's gonna bring some booty to the backside. That's what's up. All right, guys. So that's the end of my nonsense and shenanigans today. If you have not subscribed, I need to gain some weight on my subscribe account. So you should click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell icon also so that you get notified when I'm over here acting crazy with my lupus cut and my butterfly ears. I'll see you guys next go round. Ciao.